Been some time since I wanted to do video about different tools for inking. Now, this is not a video about testing different brands or techniques, but selection of different tools you can use and the different marks they can produce on textured watercolor paper. All of the informations here are based on my own experience, and I'm sure I still have a lot to learn. So if you think I missed something important, feel free to leave a comment. Also, during the video, if you look in the upper right corner, I will share examples of use of the different tools from my own library. Let's get on to it. My name is Peter, and this is We Are Family Art. Fineliners are your safe go-to when you are starting with ink. They are very affordable, reliable, and easy to use. There is no danger of spilling ink whatsoever, and when you are sketching outside, there is nothing easier than to take a couple of fineliners with you. Fineliners do not offer much variety in line. The mark is thin, consistent, but that might be exactly what you need for your quick sketches or more technical type of drawing. Also, they are great when you are working on small size paintings where consistent thin line is crucial. They come in different sizes, and it's good to have a couple to choose from. Size 01, 03, 05 and 1 should be more than enough for all your needs. If you think you need just one, size 03 should be the sweet spot. For fineliners, it's recommended to work on smooth surfaces. If you work with texture paper, the tip can wear down very quickly, which will render the fineliner unusable. When it comes to watercolor paper, hot pressed is the way to go. Cold pressed paper is fine, but expect your fineliner not to last that long. Luckily, fineliners are cheap, right? If you are looking for brand recommendations, there are many good quality out there. Pigma Micron or Faber-Castell Pit Artist are safe bets. Fountain pens can be used in similar way like fineliners, though they can offer more variety. They are more expensive than fineliners, but there are still quite affordable and good quality fountain pens out there, and they can last a lot longer than fineliners, since the metal nib won't take any damage even on textured paper. The basic selection are pens with fine nib and pens with bent nib. Fine nib offers a consistent thin line similar to fineliners. Bent nib can actually offer a variety of lines depending on the angle and side of the nib you use. Generally, for a thickened line, you use the bottom side of the nib and top side for the thin line. Fountain pens use liquid ink, either in containers or refillable tanks. The flow of the ink, compared to fineliners, is smoother and the metal nib glides over paper surface more easily. This can lead to more natural feel when sketching loosely and with faster strokes. Fountain pens are also very easy to carry around, though for more extensive sketching sessions outside, you might want to take extra container or ink bottle with you. As for the ink, not every ink is suitable for fountain pens. Try to use Indian ink, for example, and your pen will soon clog. If you are looking for suitable ink, I can recommend Platinum Carbon Black ink or Noodler's Black Waterproof Fountain Pen ink. Those are both waterproof when dried and can be used for dip pens, sticks and brushes as well. As for the fountain pen's brand recommendations, I can recommend Platinum Carbon Desk Pen and TWSBI pens for fine nibs and Duke Feud nib fountain pens with bent nibs. Dip pens are pretty much fountain pens, with the difference you have to actually dip the nib in the liquid ink in order to draw. Here you are in serious danger of spilling the ink. Also, you will create buildups of ink on your paper, so you have to be a lot more careful not to smear your drawing and let it dry properly. What you get in exchange is a huge selection of nibs available. It will take days to go through all of the different categories. They are usually extremely affordable and you can swap them very easily. What I want to point out here though are flexible nibs. Similar to brushes, depending on how much you press, they can produce beautiful varied lines that can't quite be replicated with anything else. Dip pens literally make you to be more loose and experimental, and there is something very charming about sketching this very traditional way. You'll get dirty, you will spill ink, but there is nothing else like it, believe me. It's very easy to fall in love with. Naturally, dip pens are best to use in studio, with a couple of paper towels at hand. Leave the plein air sketching for fineliners and fountain pens. The handles, either plastic or wooden, are mostly universal and work across different brands of the nibs. Just get something that you will be most comfortable with. As for the brand recommendations, like I said, there is just too many nibs. What I will recommend though is Zebra G flexible nib from Tachikawa. Cheap and wonderful. Try it, you won't regret. Talking loose and experimental, let's go to another level. Many people ask me in comments what are those sticks and how do you get them? Let's see. Stick can be any twig really. You want to get a couple of them with different points, some finer, some rougher. Stick will never produce clean, sharp line, especially if you use it on texture paper, what you definitely should. Drawing with stick is all about broken, jagged, unfinished lines. You literally must loosen up a bit when sketching this way. What you get is a lot more natural, organic looking drawing that is exactly the opposite of the technical, draw every line type of drawing you might do with precision tool like Fineliner. What I love most about stick is how they pick the texture of the paper, producing all kind of beautiful textures. With a couple of quick strokes, you can produce natural-looking shadows that could never quite be replicated with precision tool like Fineliner. The point of the loosely sharpened stick is not even, has different angles on every side, which contributes to the natural-looking uneven lines, or we better say marks, because this is far from what we consider a line when drawing. Drawing with stick can teach you a lot. It tells you that if you want to produce more natural looking drawing, the lines don't have to be all that precise. They don't have to be rigid. On the contrary, the broken, jagged, unfinished marks, suggestion of shapes, can often bring something to life a lot better than painstakingly drawn literal interpretations. You can use this philosophy when using any tool or medium. We use stick in similar way as dip pens. We dip them into liquid ink. Since the stick does not have any container, you need to dip it quite often. Also, there is maybe even bigger risk of spilling. To prevent this, don't dip the stick into bottled ink. Get a small bottle from pills, put a bit of gauze in it, and pour in some ink. This way you won't bath your stick, but only touch the soaked gauze. There might be times though where you want to get a bit wilder, so go ahead and dip it right into ink. Small tip, once you use your stick for some time, the ink will create a firm glossy glaze on it which will cause the stick to glide and repel the ink. When this happens, scrape it off with a knife or get a new one. Brush and brush pen offer not only the beautiful variety in line, depending on how much you press, but give your drawing unique flow. Also, similar to sticks, they can beautifully pick the texture of the paper using the so-called dry brush method. Similar to Fineliners, brush pens come in different sizes and can be used for precision work. They are often used when doing cartoons and comics, so if you are in this kind of art, give them a try. As for the brushes, there is no rule what kind of brushes you can use for inking, but generally the Chinese natural brushes work great, since ink calligraphy is their original purpose anyway. Also, if you need to cover large spaces with ink, there is no better tool than brush. Final tip: don't forget you can use multiple tools in one drawing. What I often do, I use dip pen or fountain pen for fine details and then proceed to use stick or brush for some rough shading. It's always great to do some experiments. You may come up with your own unique use of those tools. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you found some useful information in it. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll be happy to answer. And as always, enjoy the world of art with your family. It will make you happier.